What if the move that tips the NFC North just got pushed to the finish line today? What if the Lions didn't wait for the offseason, didn't wait for the perfect storm, and simply went and got the exact profile that offenses hate to account for on 3rd and 7? And what if the ripple effect isn't just sacks, but cleaner pockets for our offense, shorter fields, and the kind of January football that travels? You're feeling it too, right? The hush-hush energy around Allen Park, the whispers about a veteran edge who ruins protections, the talk of a name that forces OCS to change Tuesday's install. Not a splash for clicks. A chess move for wins. Something that says, we remember last year's injuries and we're not getting caught light again. Before you jump to the name, hold on. Because this isn't just about a headline. It's about why now, what it costs, how it fits, and how it changes the way teams try to block Aiden Hutchinson at all. It's about the difference between a good front and a terrifying one. It's about a locker room that already believes and a staff that refuses to leave margins to chance. Here's what we're going to unpack. Step by step, the role opposite Hutch and how it unclogs the middle. The sub-package combinations that make coordinators burn timeouts. The realistic compensation. The cap mechanics that keep the window open. And the timeline from buzz to snaps. I'm going to walk you through what this would look like on the field in the next 2 weeks, where it elevates our floor in the fourth quarter, and why the culture piece matters as much as the TFLS. Welcome back to Lions. News fan report. If you ride with this community that rides with the Lions, tap subscribe, drop a like, and buckle in. We talk ball, we talk truth, and we talk about the moves that make sense when the calendar still says regular season, but the mindset already says January. So let's set the stage. Detroit's front has come out of the gate swinging, among league leaders in total sacks and sack rate, creating real problems for quarterbacks even after early attrition. Marcus Davenport hitting IR would have rattled lesser rooms. Kelvin Shepard's group just kept humming. The rotation has been deep, the effort violent, the technique cleaner. Yet the NFL has a commandment that contenders live by. You can never have enough pass rush. Never. We learned that the hard way last year. Bodies wear down, roles stretch thin, and what felt like an abundance in September becomes thin ice in December. That's why you keep your eyes open for value, someone who doesn't need 50 snaps to move the needle. Someone who forces the offense to choose between sliding to Hutch or dealing with a real one-on-one problem on the opposite edge. Coaches have been putting names on the board all summer. Ranking traits: long, disruptive, heavy-handed. Sets a firm edge on early downs, converts speed to power on late downs. Brings inside counters that punish oversets. And here's the big one: demands chips. Demand a chip, and you steal a route from their progression. That's hidden yardage you feel in the fourth quarter. There's an archetype that keeps popping up in these conversations. A 28-year-old with juice in his hands. Underrated to the masses but circled by coordinators on Monday. Already stacking sacks to start the season. Already showing up in solo tackles. Already on tape forcing tight ends to live in the backfield. The kind of guy who walks in and instantly changes how teams try to help the right tackle on money downs. Okay, you've waited long enough. The name is Carl Granderson. Here's where it stands. The buzz is real. The logic is rock solid. And the framework that's making the rounds think a day 2 pick as the baseline tracks with how serious teams shore up a strength. Is it inked with the league office? No. This is the moment where football people put scenario to paper, test it against the cap, test it against the room, and ask, does this win us a game in January? That's the bar. Why Granderson? Start with the fit. Opposite Hutchinson, he plays sturdy early down edge in 5-tech looks, then kick wider on pass downs where his long arm and inside counter mess with sets. You can run TE games with him and DJ Reader. You can walk up Jack Campbell and threaten mug looks that force full slide protections. And you can keep Hutch fresh for fourth quarters where closers close. Granderson's presence means Hutch sees fewer true doubles and fewer chip and release freebies. That's 2 pass catchers delayed or rerouted. That's advantage Detroit. On film, Granderson converts speed to power without overshooting landmarks. He wins with heavy hands, then counters inside when tackles open the gate. He squeezes the run, doesn't get pinned by down blocks, and plays through contact. He's not a stat-chasing freelancer. He's a structure enhancer. That matters in this defense, where edges have to take on pullers and keep the backers clean, rotation-wise. You'd see a NASCAR package on 3rd and long, Hutchinson and Granderson outside, Reader and a quick penetration tackle inside, with simulated pressure threats from the second level. Show pressure with Kirby Joseph down as a robber look, bail late, and you're manufacturing clean one-on-ones. With Granderson in the fold, offenses can't simply slide to 97 and pray. The math gets fair. And fair math favors Detroit. What about costs? The number that keeps surfacing in league chatter is a 3rd-rounder as the anchor, with the possibility of a sweetener based on playtime or playoff advancement. That's not cheap. But it's the kind of price contenders expect to pay for a needle mover who plays meaningful January snaps. You're not renting a specialist. You're acquiring a starter-level edge who multiplies the effect of your best defender. Cap mechanics? The Lions have options. Restructure room, base-to-bonus conversions, and a front office that has navigated these waters before. You're not mortgaging the future to chase a logo. You're buying leverage in high-leverage moments. And if you structure properly, you preserve the flexibility for core extensions that define eras, not weeks. Timeline? If this kind of move were greenlit, the rhythm is straightforward. Medicals, paperwork, quick install terminology overlaps, and a roll package for week 1 to 2 post-arrival. Early snaps would likely be scripted. Base edges on early downs, rush plan on 3rd down, and a handful of design stunts to test chemistry. By the 2nd week, you're unlocking the full menu. Now your 4-man rush starts stealing possessions. Culture matters. And this is a Dan Campbell building. Grit, discipline, no drama pros who plug in and elevate. Granderson's tape says he plays hard when the play extends, retraces on screens, and finds work when the first move stalls. That aligns. It sends a message to the locker room without saying a word. The front office is matching your effort with action. Risks? Always. Chemistry isn't automatic. Edge fits in the run game are trust built. There's opportunity cost when you move picks. And you want to keep runway for young guys in the room who are coming on. But that's exactly why this profile works. He's not a redundancy. He's a multiplier. You're fortifying a strength that already wins you downs and helping it win you games. Let's zoom out to how this filters through the whole team. If the rush steals one possession of Game 1 stalled drive, one hurry throw turn takeaway, that's a shorter field for Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. More red zone trips for Sam Laporta and fewer shootouts. It's complementary football that looks boring on spreadsheets and loud on scoreboards. Matchups? Against heavy play-action outfits. A sturdier opposite edge prevents the pocket from drifting away from Hutch, forcing quarterbacks to reset into help. Against quick game merchants, long arms and throwing lanes force higher trajectories, and that's where tips and picks live. Against mobile QBs, coordinated edges shrink escape alleys. Suddenly, a rush lane mistake becomes a unit mistake, not an individual one. And yes, you can draw a straight line from one more pro edge to late season health. Fewer gas snaps for starters equals fresher legs in December. Fresh legs in December equals the ability to close games that last year felt like coin flips. This is how winning programs stack small advantages until the scoreboard calls them big. Now I want to hear you Lions fans. Would you ship a 3rd-rounder for a plug-and-play edge who forces protections to choose their poison? Would you sweeten the pot if the other side asks for conditions? Who sits? Who rotates? And how would you deploy the money-down package? Drop your plan in the comments and tell me your version of the trade that still lets Brad Holmes keep our long-term core intact. My take. Cards on the table. If the price hovers around a 3rd with smart cap management, I'm in. The fit is clean, the impact is immediate, and the message to the room is powerful. But let me be crystal clear for the record. This is informed speculation, not an official transaction notice. We're evaluating a move that makes football sense, not reporting a deal that's already filed. I think it's the right kind of aggression for a contender that knows the window is real.